What's going on, everybody? It's Antonio from Akari Press. We're on the Indiegogo, $68,458. Santana, baby. Triple cover pack is, of course, still ongoing. If you want it, head on over to Indiegogo or just type in AkariPress.com. It'll take you right there. Link, of course, is in the description. All right, so this article popped up on Gizmodo from Charles Pulliam Moore. Disney's Falcon and Winter Soldier has to explore race and Captain America's legacy. Oh, man. I'm hoping that this is not the case. I really think that these shows should just be about escapist fantasy. They should just, try to focus on a good story. They should just, there's a lot to play with just with Sam and Bucky alone, particularly the fact that, in Captain America Civil War, they're both cool with Cap, but they don't really like each other. I thought that was fascinating, and that's very realistic because I have friends that are friends with me, but then I've tried to get them to be friends and they butt heads and clash and everything. So it's that's realistic to me. Everybody that you're friends with may not like each other. And I thought that was something, but they're both professionals. When it came down to fight, they were watching each other's back and everything, and that's realistic. Some of the, when they did the whole Captain America is a black guy thing, they passed the mantle of Cap on to Sam. I was actually excited about it. Now, I know some people did the eye roll, but there were only two people that I felt like if Cap was going to pass his shield on to someone, there were only two people that I felt like should have ever gotten the shield. And one, of course, was James Buchanan Barnes, who we know is the Winter Soldier. And then the other one was Sam Wilson, who's been fighting by Cap's side for over 4 decades now. So if either of those two got the shield, then that's a good day. So I wasn't gonna trip about it, but I noticed that Captain America with Sam Wilson became Black Captain America, and that I don't enjoy Black Captain America as much as Captain America. If they had just switched it up a little bit and just told Sam's story without trying to, oh my, I have to confront racism and all that kind of stuff, it was you're already, just from my perspective as being a black man, you're already a minority. And you're only one person. Captain America is supposed to be about everybody. That's the whole point. Especially when you start talking about superheroes and stuff. A lot of times they have to save people that may not like them, that don't appreciate what they're doing and the sacrifices they make. But they're superheroes and they save you anyway. That's the whole point of that. Instead of going, oh, I'm Black Captain America, I got to go down to Harlem and do this, and I got to do this, and I got to, and they actually did, what was it? It was him, Misty Knight. They had to make sure that they paired him with all the Marvel B-list black superhero characters and stuff. And I was like, okay, yeah. Instead of just focusing, I think Falcon's a cool character. So there's enough stuff that you could do with him in comic book form where it could have just been a great story. Instead, they were just well, he's a superhero, but he's black, so you got to focus on that. It's and I feel like that's why a lot of people rejected those titles, and it wasn't as successful. That's why a Kamala Khan, they have to make sure that there's oh, she's Pakistani, you got to deal with this and all that, instead of just going, okay, well, let's try to do something cool with her. That's the whole point of comic books. The real life is already kind of jacked up as it is. You're supposed to be able to open a comic book and get blown away by all the cool suspense and the intrigue and just, oh wow, that guy's flying, he's lifting a car over his head. That's what comics are supposed to be about. And so when you take that comic and you put it on film and television, It's supposed to give you that same feeling. When there's a reason, and I thought I was crazy at first, because I started when I watched Avengers Endgame and I watched Infinity War. I thought Infinity War is clearly, to me, the superior film, and I thought I was in a minority there because Endgame it's made a little more money than Infinity War, because I guess it's the finale or whatever. But I thought Infinity War was masterful in it. And then you start seeing some of the stuff that they did in Endgame, and they had to, let's put A-Force in there. Let's do this. They, and not to mention, don't get me started on all the weird time travel and all that. It just seemed like they had to, and they had to make sure, they was like, Captain's in he's in a survivors group, and we have to make sure there's a gay character in there, which nobody noticed. And then they had to put out, a lot of people, I was in the theater, and what was it? I think it was Joe Russo that played the gay survivor, and he was just like, yeah, me and him are going out, and nobody got up and stood like, that guy's gay, and nobody freaked out. It was just like, okay, next scene, and they just moved on. So then they had to come out and put a statement. I was like, well, we felt like it was time. We needed to make a statement. So I was like, you're putting out a statement because you didn't get the reaction. Most people are adults, and they just was like, okay, the guy's gay, and they kept it moving. And you had to make sure we wanted to make a statement. We wanted everyone to know. So they had to make sure. I felt that's why I wanted to play the gay character. I wanted everyone to know my thoughts and feelings. Even though I'm a straight man with kids, I felt it was important that I behave as. And I would say to Mr. Russo, because I saw the interview he did where he was like, even though I'm I've got a wife and and all that, and I'm straight, I wanted to play this gay character. Then you should have really committed, and you should have hired a gay actor, and y'all should have made out right there on the screen. That would have been woke. I was like, you should have made out with a dude right there on the screen, and that would have been your political statement. But you didn't do that. You were on screen for a few seconds. Oh yeah, I'm going out with a guy, and then y'all moved on to the next scene, and it didn't get the reaction you got, so you had to put that thing out. So that tells me right there that if you don't get the reaction, you don't get backlash, because nobody cared. Everybody just watched the movie, and they just want to see Iron Man and the Hulk and Thor. They want to see what you're going to do with those characters. They don't care that there's a gay guy sitting there talking about his partner got snapped out when Thanos did what do they call it? I don't know. Thanos did the snap. They called it the deviate, the whatever the hell. Y'all can tell me in the comments. But you didn't get your reaction, and then so you had to make sure you talked about it when you were doing your press junket, so everybody would focus on the fact that, ooh, there's a gay character. And I was like, nobody cared. I was in a packed theater and nobody gave a shit. They were just like, okay, next, can we get back to Cap? Okay, cool. That was what it was. But I just don't think that putting this kind of, I was like, let's make sure that Falcon shows up at a Black Lives Matter rally. That's not what it is. And it sounded like they're setting the show up to be kind of cool, because they've got Sharon Carter, they got Baron Zemo back in there. I think that's what I'm interested in. I'm looking forward to this one. Looking forward to the Loki, because I know they're starting to show scenes from the Loki miniseries, and I am very curious about Vision and the Scarlet Witch. That's what I'm talking about. That's comic book stuff that is done well on the screen. That's all I care about. The rest of this stuff is just woke weirdo politics. But that's just my personal opinion. Let me know what you guys think. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. And if you guys want to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and right here on this YouTube channel. Everywhere is at Akari Press. And if you type in AkariPress.com, it will take you directly to my Indiegogo campaign for my comic book series brand with the phenomenal Kane and White. We're on Teespring. We're on Amazon.com. The links to those are in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm out.